Hi, I'm Cheryl, and I'm going to show you how I made this tulip. I know tulips and orchids, they're really not a lot alike, but I used the dies from the Climbing Orchid bundle. I've got them here. I also have another set that I got. It's one of the cheapy Chinese ones, or I don't know where it came from. I forget. But I thought it would coordinate nicely with the other orchid dies. But I'm using the two largest dies, largest orchid dies. I'm using this one and this one to make this daffodil. So let me get on with the rest of the stuff. So we need to cut out two of each of those. So we have two of the 3-petal ones, and we have two of the 2-petal ones. Then I have these two strips of paper. I'm using the Neenah Bright White cardstock, 65-pound cardstock, and I'll be cutting the stem and the leaves out of this. I'll show you how I did the leaves too. They're very simple. And to shape it, this is the embossing mat from my Cuttlebug. I like to use this. If you don't have one, maybe you have a mouse pad, it's got a smooth surface, something along that line you're going to need. And I finally sprung for some real embossing. They're these ball styluses, and wow, I think I paid all of maybe $4 for them on Amazon. This is another one of those deals. They come from overseas somewhere, and they take a while to get here. But for under $4, I'm not going to complain about that too much. So I'll be using those, and also either I have a little dowel that I've rounded there's a skewer that I've rounded. I sanded the tip and made it a little rounder. Or you could use your scoring tool. And then the paints are Daffodil Delight, or the inks are Daffodil Delight and Pear Pizzaz. And of course I have a blending sponge. And off to the side here I have the Aqua Painter, and then I also have this set of their metallic watercolor paints. This is optional. You don't have to use these, but I liked it. And let's see, Yasutomo. I don't know, but I got these also on Amazon. Very inexpensive. So let's get on with this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, let's get our little flower pieces in here. And spread them out here. Let's get me some space to work. Get over there. And get my Daffodil Delight ink out, my sponge dauber, and I'm going to sponge these pretty heavily around the edges, on the tips, and as you can see, I'm not being real careful with them. And there's we'll do the two pieces that have 3, and then the 2 that have 2 on them. And we want to do both sides on the ones that have 2, because you're going to be able to see both sides in the daffodil. That just made me think. You know what? You could probably use the center of this and make it look like a tulip. Wouldn't that be cool? I might have to play around with that. Okay, so I've got that. Got them all inked up here. Now I'll take my watercolor set and there's a yellow one right in the center here. And now if you don't want to make yours have a little, these is like this will give it like a pearlized look. If you don't want to do that, you do need to wet your paper at this point, and I like to use an Aqua Painter for that anyway, and just go like this and wet my pieces. But I want to have a little pearlized look on mine. So let me get that wet, and I'll start. Might as well start with this one since I got that one wet already. And as you can see, I don't want the back. I don't want the back side of that. So you can see I'm taking great care how I put this on. That was sarcasm. I'm just covering the flower petals, and it will give the whole flower a little yellow tint to it. These aren't very bright paints. Get this one. There we go. Flip that over, get the back side. Okay. Did I do the back of that? No, I didn't get the back of this one yet. Get the back of this one. Okay. And I clean my brush out. Get that yellow glittery paint out of it. You could probably use like gelatos for this too. I haven't done much with gelatos. Somebody sent me some as a free gift with one of my orders, but I haven't actually done much with them. Okay, so now we need to bring our mat in because we're going to start shaping them. And yes, these are damp. They're damp, they're not soppy wet, okay? So there's a difference. Now the ones that are 3 petals, we're going to put them face down. On the ones that are 2 petals, doesn't really matter which way you put them. Yeah, I'm going to take, let's see, I think this looks like maybe a 10mm ball stylus. And I'm just going to go on the ones that have 3 petals. We're just going to go around the edges to shape that petal a little bit, make it a little rounded around the edges. Not a whole lot of shaping on these because the daffodil, the back petals, these are going to be the back petals or the base petals. They'll be like this, and then we have the cup. These will make the cup, and the ones with 3 will make the base of the flower. Okay, that looks like plenty of shaping on there. And then I'm just going to do some lines on it with my scoring tool. I'm using this because I figure more people have that than a skewer that they've sanded the tip on. Okay. Almost done here. Okay, so now you see we have it shaped a little bit, and we've got these nice little lines like veining in the petals. I'm going to set those aside because now those have to dry. Okay, now these oh, you know what else we need to do? Because these aren't real symmetrical on this petal right here. See that petal? There's one that's this shape. This one, we're going to just do a little fold there so that our 3 petals are all evenly spaced. We need to do that on both of them. I almost forgot to tell you this. You need to fold that. Just a little fold there, like so. So now they're more evenly spaced. It'll look nicer, I promise. Now on these, we're really going to maul these. We're going to go in and we're going to pinch like this. Look, just like this. All across like the entire edge, the outer edge of these petals. And you really want them crimped up there. You see how that is? And we do that on both of these. Both of these petals get really pinched up like this. See, like that. All right, and then we'll do both. We would do both of these and set them aside, but I don't need to because I already have a set that I did, and I have them drying, or I had them dry. You need to let them dry. You want to let them dry, and then they're gonna get nice and stiff. Hear that? These get nice and stiff. Now, if at the end you decide you want to put some glitter, glittery stuff or some pearlized stuff on it at the end, I find that it doesn't work as well as if you do it now. If you do it when you've painted or when you've inked these up and before you set them aside to dry, because it re-wets the paper. I tried it. I used Wink of Stella, which, it doesn't make it real wet, but it does make it a little wet. Now off to the side here, I don't think I told you, but we are using a glue gun. I'm not crazy about glue guns, but we're going to use a glue gun today because I really think you need to do that. Okay, so anyway, back to making the flowers. So we're going to take this flower now, and it's very stiff and it's very wrinkly, and we're going to make it into a little cup shape here, like so, and this one also. And we're just going to put a little dab of glue there, just a little bit of hot glue. Come on, glue, get down there. I have a new stick starting and it's being stubborn. Here we go, I think. No, come on, stick, get in there. Oh, there's a little dab of glue. And I'm just going to glue just the very tips of those two petals together. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And we want them to be like a trumpet shape. So you don't want it straight up and down like this. You want it like flared out like that. If you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so there's that one. And you see it's like flared out at the top. Oh, that little bit of glued in hold. Hold on. There we go. And we'll do the same thing with this one. We're just going to shape that a little bit to start out with. And we'll shape this one a little bit to start out with. And put a little dab of glue. And just overlap that. And the same over here. Okay. So there we go. I've got my second little trumpet shape. And I'm going to glue those together. I'm going to put one inside the other. So I need to get some. I think I'll put this one on the inside, because it just looks a little narrower than the other one. Put a nice glob of glue on there. And I'm going to put this in, offset the petals from the first one, and quick push that down in with one of my ball stylus tools. Okay, so there we go. We've got our trumpet almost finished. The only thing we need to do more is we want to curl these petals outward. Okay, so I'm just taking my dowel. You could use a pen or a pencil, whatever. And I'm just curling them outward. And look at that. Isn't that a beautiful little tulip, a little daffodil center? Okay, so now I'm taking the ones that have the 3 petals, and I'm going to take that ball stylus. I'm going to just go in the center here and push down and roll it around a little bit so that my leaves kind of pop up, my petals pop up. And come on, hot glue. Wow, I don't know why this one stick of hot glue is being so stubborn. Oh, there we go. I got a little glob there. That should be enough. And we're going to place that off-centered, like so. And I want these to kind of stand up a little bit from the others. Okay, so there's the base of our daffodil. And now we've got the little trumpet part. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of flatten this out. I'm just going to, again, this poor thing, it's getting mauled to death. I'm just going to push with my fingernail, holding one finger inside here, and I'm going to push with my fingernail and make a little flat area here. You see? See, it's nice and flat now. And let's see if we can get ourselves a nice glop of hot glue on there. Well, maybe that's enough. And just press that down. And I'll go back with I need a smaller stylus. I'm going to just go back with the ball stylus and I'm going to press that down. Make sure it's made good contact. And there we go. We've got the daffodil done. Now I'll show you how I did the leaves. Okay, so I have my 2 strips of paper here. And I need a pair of scissors. And I just cut 2 long, I don't know what this shape is. It's definitely a daffodil shaped leaf. Okay, so it's just a shape like this, like a long cigar kind of thing. And then from the little bit that I have left over from this, I cut my stem, and then I cut another leaf. We'll skip that part because both the leaves are the same. Okay, so I've got 2 leaves here. Or I have a leaf and my stem. Oh, wrong inks. I'll get my Pear Pizzaz out. And all I did was I put my leaf on here like this. And I just went like this. And yeah, you get some on your finger. You see? And it makes a cool, kind of a cool pattern on it. It's kind of streaky and, I don't know, almost tie-dye-ish looking. And I'll do the same thing with my stem. And let's see. Oh, that got pretty well covered, but that's okay. Now, that's it for the stem. That stem is ready. And let's see, where did my Aqua Painter get to? Oh, I put it away. It's just too neat. Yeah, I have ink on my finger. I can clean it off. I'm just going to paint some water on there. And I'll clean my pen out because I do have green ink in there. And I'm doing it on the back side of it. I don't know if it makes much of a difference if you do it on the back side or the front side, but we're going to be doing our shaping from the back side. So I dabbed off the excess water, and that feels pretty good now. It's damp, but it's not soppy wet. So again, I'm going to take this little ball stylus here. I think this is maybe, it might be a 6mm ball stylus. And I'm just going to go all along the edge here. Because I just want it kind of rounded on the edge. I don't necessarily want it to curl up, but I want the edge rounded under a little bit. And then I'll go back and I'll take my scoring tool, and we'll do the same thing just like we did on the petals of the tulip. We just go the whole length of the leaf, and that gives it some nice veining in the leaf. Alright, and there's our leaf, and then I'm just gonna fiddle with it a little bit. I'm just gonna turn some bits under so it's not all just straight, just like that. And on the tip, I'm just gonna pinch it a little bit and just give it a little curve, just like that. And then that will get set aside also to dry before being used on a card. And I'll show you the card that I made again. And I'm really pleased with the way this came out. And I think I'll do a video on it. If y'all are good boys and girls, I'll do a video on it, and you can see how I made the whole card. So I hope you liked my video today. I'm rather pleased with myself for coming up with a daffodil from an orchid die. So y'all, oh, and if you'd like to see more of my videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. If you liked it, hit the like button. It's always encouraging to me to see that people do like my videos. And if there are any, I don't know, oh, the inks, I guess, came from Stampin' Up. If there are any products from Stampin' Up that I've used today that you'd like to purchase, you can do that either through my Facebook page or my website. And as always, I'll have all the materials I used listed down below. So y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.